Hello, it's Polish Pol VR, welcome to my channel and let's do freshest PSVR news in the village. Very good video today. We've got release date for No Man's Sky Beyond Physical Edition, but also finally after long wait the info about Borderlands 2 VR DLC. Plus we've got some new games and all the usual shit. If you don't like intros, all those stories got timestamps in the description, so you can just jump straight in there. I'm trying to make this channel as convenient for anyone as possible. But if you like the intro, then of course it's awesome video. I always get excited when you've got some great news. But before I start, if you like what you're seeing, then please press a like because it does helps the channel a lot. And if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. Plus you'll be up to date with everything PlayStation VR, news, reviews, previews, walkthroughs, just everything. I'm trying to have everything on this channel. Okay, let's do it. And first of all, we're gonna start from talking about Borderlands 2 VR. So, Gearbox was quite quiet about this game. They was busy promoting Borderlands 3. It kind of seemed like they didn't even knew that this game exists, and they announced that there will be DLC but never gave us release date apart from saying it will be this summer, and that was it. That was last mention of Borderlands 2 VR. We've had some leaks through the ESRB website which showed that the game will be coming to PC, so all the PC players can get excited, but apart from that, no mention at all until today. So what they said is basically they posted experience more with Borderlands 2 VR updates at the Gearbox main theater show from PAX West on August 30th at 1:30 PM Pacific time. So what does that mean? Finally on August 30th we might get release date for Borderlands 2 VR DLC, or we might actually get the DLC, because sometimes they like to do announcements and then release on the same day, especially when it comes to Borderlands. Also I'm expecting they're gonna announce the PC version that we know pretty much that it's coming now. So for Borderlands fans and especially for VR players, that's gonna be a good day. Make sure you tune in to PAX West on August 30th. Have your game ready because like I said, we might get release date, but what's even better, maybe we might get actual release of Borderlands 2 VR DLC. Now this DLC is Season 1, that's what ESRB rating shows us, which is basically your 4 main DLC. In Season 2 they've had Headhunter packs, which was smaller DLCs. I don't think we're gonna get them. Also, I don't think we're gonna get Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary, which is the latest DLC, because that wasn't listed in the rating. But you never know, the things might have changed or it might come later, no idea. But anyway, Borderlands 2 is awesome. It's one of the best PSVR games. I love in it. After AIM update, that's all I play with, AIM controller, and it plays great. Such a massive game, and it's about to get twice bigger very soon, so happy times. And now let's move on to another story about No Man's Sky Beyond. So first of all, the game finally got patch for PS4 which addressed a lot of issues, but sadly no PS4 Pro patch yet. For PS4 Pro owners, this is the patch that everyone waiting the most. It looks like we might have to wait a while, but they made another announcements today, and what's happening is we're getting No Man's Sky Beyond on the disc. So basically it will be No Man's Sky with all the major updates which they released in past, which was Foundation, Pathfinder, Atlas Rises, Next and Abyss and the Visions, but also of course the most important one, No Man's Sky Beyond. It's all gonna be on that disc. I know some of you been writing to me in the comment section saying that your internet is shit and you cannot really download it, so you're waiting for physical release. It's finally happening and it's not even that long to wait. The physical disc will be hitting the stores on September 10th in US and in Europe on September 11th, just one day later. Now I've got the game on disc. I still gonna buy this one just to have in my collection. No Man's Sky is great, but also what I'm thinking, maybe with this disc release, maybe the PlayStation 4 Pro patch will come as well. I don't know, sometimes developers like to do nice update for the physical releases, so let's hope so it will happen, or maybe when the game launches on disc, maybe after that they're gonna announce this long awaited PlayStation 4 Pro patch. I know the game is blurry now, but anyway it's still fantastic. Everyone losing just their life in it at the moment. Great game with the latest patch, less crashes, better performance and everything just works fine. Okay, anyway, let's move on to another news. I want to talk a bit about ESPIRE 1 VR. So what's happening is the developer said it will be releasing in August, but sadly we're not hearing nothing of it. Now, the game is playable this year at Gamescom, people having their first impression. Everyone is saying the game is awesome, it's amazing, but still no announcement yet. What I'm thinking is before the Gamescom ends we should have announcement, and my best guess is it's gonna be at the end of the month. I keep being asked about this game in my comment section if I know release date. No, I don't, but from what I'm seeing at the Gamescom, the game is in a very complete state. It's pretty much ready for the release, so it's not got delayed, it's still gonna come in August. Shouldn't be too long now because it's nearly end of the month, so just be patient. The Gamescom not finished yet, we still got 3 days, so I'm sure the developers will announce something, and then finally we'll be able to play it very soon. The game looks amazing, I spoke about it so many times. Well worth waiting for, one of my most anticipated PlayStation VR games. I cannot wait. Right, okay, and in other news, we've got announcement of a new game, and the game that really caught my attention. It looks pretty cool. Down the rabbit hole, don't get it confused with the rabbit hole that already is out and it's absolutely shit. This one is a bit different. It's happening like, you're not Alice, because that's before. It's happening before Alice actually went to this strange place. But what's happening is you playing as actually you controlling 2 characters, you can swap between them. The game is in third person but also in first person in conversation. It kind of plays like mix between Moss and the Comic Zone. If anyone remember Comic Zone, that was pretty awesome game back in the day. But anyway, it's coming from the developers of Wands, which is already out on PC, sadly not on PSVR. Trailer shows a lot of potential for this game. I like third person platformers as well as I like third person in VR. Sometimes it works. So for me, this is the game that definitely caught my attention. Regarding the release date, the developers saying it's coming this year on PC. But PlayStation VR version is in development as well, but they didn't say if it's gonna be this year or next year, so we might have to wait. My best guess is usually when the developers working on multiple platforms, the PC usually comes first. Especially when it's a smaller studios like this one, but nevertheless, might be smaller studio, but the game still looks great, so it's gonna be something I gonna look forward to. And in another news, we're gonna speak a bit about DEEMO Reborn, a demo game which was very popular on Vita, I think, or PSP, I can't remember now, but anyway, was a very nice rhythmic game. Then they kind of remaking it, adding loads of cool shit and making DEEMO Reborn. Now, it was in development for a while. It's gonna be published by Sony, but it's gonna be published on PC and on PSVR because they're gonna use UNDEAD, the publisher. So it's basically kind of branch of Sony which publishes on everything. But anyway, finally we've got release date. It was delayed. I think they wanted to have it at the beginning on this year, but sadly didn't happen. Now we kind of approaching Q4 now, but it's gonna happen. So they saying the release date is November 21st, so still a while to wait, but it will be coming. Now they adding some cool stuff to this version of the game because there will be exploration mode, which basically lets you explore the world, do some puzzles and some other stuff, and of course you're gonna have your rhythmic sections as well. The game will work on flat PlayStation 4, but also it will work on PlayStation VR and of course on PC and PC VR. The developers saying the mix between music and exploration makes this game really good and makes it really stands out. From what we see in the trailers, the game looks great. During your rhythmic section, of course, you're gonna play your rhythmic game, and during the exploration, you will be exploring the castle, and this castle gonna have a lot of secrets for you to uncover. And now, bit of news about the Endspace, a very nice space shooter for PlayStation VR. The developers gonna update it on August 29th. The game will release on Quest, but also on the same day it will receive the update, and this update will add flat support to the game. Now, for me, you know, any game is best play in VR, but maybe some people gonna just want to check it out how it looks in flat. Endspace is pretty good, reminds me a bit of Wing Commander, which I played back in the day. Of course, done by a smaller studio, but nevertheless they managed to put together a very nice game from small team like that. I really like what they did. The game had plenty of updates already because they always listened to the feedback, so it's nice to see that we're getting more updates and they still supporting the game. If you didn't play it Endspace, then maybe after the update might be best time. I wouldn't play it flat, but definitely get it for VR if you missed out because it's quite cheap at the moment. Okay, and in other news, we've got a bit more gameplay from Undead Citadel. 3D Ruder done nice series on the channel which shows the game. Now in the background you can see latest trailer which shows you how you disintegrate the enemies with special potion. Of course all the gameplay is captured using 3D Ruder and move controllers. The game will work with Ruder, but also it will work without. If you worry that you'll not be able to play, of course you'll be able to play it with moves. Ruder basically gonna free your hands, but nevertheless I'm talking about it because I'm trying to talk about Undead Citadel anytime I've got a chance, because the game looks amazing, we all waiting for it. There is no release date yet, but with the game being shown off more and more, it's even playable at this year's Gamescom at the moment. It looks like the developers getting closer and closer to the release date, but like I said many times, they gonna give us release date once they ready. They said they not want to promise anything. Once they ready and they sure about it, then they gonna say it. Nevertheless, Undead Citadel, I'm sure it's gonna be great. Okay, and now we coming back to Honor and Duty All Out War Edition. So what's happening is the game is available on pre-order in UK at least. We've got the price, the game will cost $19.99, and Honor and Duty All Out War Edition is basically Honor and Duty D-Day, Honor and Duty Arcade Edition Remastered, which looks a lot of better graphically, but also it's Honor and Duty D-Day with single player, so you not only have to play online, but you can do some missions just by yourself. We don't have gameplay from single player yet, but I'm sure developer is gonna put out something nice for us, as this developer always delivers good things. And of course, Honor and Duty Arcade Edition, even though it's quiet online, you still can play single player as well with better updated graphics. It's definitely gonna be a more pleasurable experience, and of course both the games supporting aim controller. And Honor and Duty D-Day, don't forget, supports everything: moves, ruder, DualShock, aim. You can mix and match them whatever you want, so definitely plenty of freedom in this game. If you want to try the game, download the beta and you get free Battle Royale mode. Okay, now in other news, we're gonna talk a bit about Dreams and maybe PlayStation VR support for this game. I said in my last news video that the things starting to kick in, the videos getting bigger, there is more news. The quiet summer time is nearly over and it reflects in amount of news I'm getting daily now, so it's pretty awesome. But nevertheless, regarding the Dreams, the game is also ready to pre-order on game's website. It goes for $44.99, so might not be the final price, I don't know. Funnily enough, it's listed as it's releasing in 2019, so final release might be this year, but also it's listed under the PlayStation VR tag, so maybe, just maybe, when the game gonna release on disc as a full release, we finally gonna get PlayStation VR support. Just putting it out there that the listing changed for this game. The VR support looks like it's gonna be on day one on the final release on Dreams. Currently the game is in early access, but if everything goes well, maybe it will be out this year. And maybe finally, all of us PSVR fans, finally we're gonna get our VR mode. Just keep in mind that in VR mode the rules will be a bit different. You're gonna have to play your game first, you're gonna have to make sure it runs smoothly, so whatever you created now might not reach the standards to be put in VR, and then you're gonna have to optimize a bit, just like real life developers do. But anyway, Dreams is fantastic, people enjoying it through the early access, creating some amazing stuff already, so let's wait for this VR support. Okay, and in other news, Afterlife released today and it's only cheap, costing $5.99. I'm not covering it just yet because my PlayStation is kind of unplugged. Still doing up the new house, painting rooms and shit, had it plastered, so had to remove everything. But anyway, I'm skipping it, but what I'm hearing, it's cheap and it might be quite cheerful. Basically, it's well, not cheerful, actually it might be quite sad, but nevertheless, it's cheap and might be quite good. So basically 360 series of videos, virtual reality videos, so you get your 3D depth. The developers want to show you how it is to see the world from that person's perspective, I suppose. You've got branching narratives, the choice will matter, you can play as multiple characters, so for a little price like that, something like price of burger and a coffee or something like that, might be nice little experience out today. Okay, and in other news, in my last video I spoke about Groundhog Day, like father like son, giving you release date, which is 17th of September, but what I didn't mention is that the game is already available on pre-order. You can buy it for $29.99, or if you are PS Plus members is $26.99, so $3 cheaper. So this is of course the sequel to the movie. They made it as a game, very nice, looks colorful, looks nice, coming from Tequila Works. They already released amazing Invisible Hours, and that's it, bye.